Welcome to today's explainer. So, have you ever stood right at the base of a massive skyscraper or walked into an ancient, cowering temple and felt a sudden, almost physical shift in your energy? It's a real thing, right? Today, we're unpacking a profound historical and psychological constant, the human obsession with verticality. We're going to see how building upwards isn't just about showing off, it's actually a completely brilliant way to hack our brains.
Okay, let's dive into this. Why on earth do humans relentlessly build into the sky? I mean, from the dizzying sheer heights of the Zagros Mountains in ancient Persia, all the way to the soaring, intricate spires of European Gothic cathedrals, humanity has literally spent thousands of years moving stone, glass, and iron higher and higher. It takes immense effort, unbelievable amounts of time, and massive resources. So what's the point? Why do we do it?
Section 1. The mystery of the vertical. As you'll see, this is really a psychological strategy. Moving right along to Section 2, the inaccessibility of power, taking us all the way back to the ancient Persian Empire. To really understand this, we have to travel back to the reign of King Darius I. The absolutely crucial point of his strategy comes down to one staggering number: 100 meters. Picture this. King Darius ordered the famous Behistun inscription to be carved into a sheer cliff, exactly 100 meters above the ground. That is like a 30-story building. And here's the crazy twist. Once it was finished, he had all the scaffolding destroyed. He made it physically impossible for any human being to actually reach it or read it. So by placing this massive 15 by 25 meter monument 100 meters up in the air, written in 3 different languages, Darius clearly wasn't communicating with mortals. Accompanied by the divine symbol of the Faravar, he was essentially submitting his permanent record directly to the gods. In this context, extreme height equaled untouchable, divine sanction. No mere mortal was meant to engage with it. Now, he actually brought this exact same logic of vertical power directly into the urban space at Persepolis, the empire's ceremonial capital. The architecture there created a sort of artificial topography. When visiting dignitaries from the 23 conquered provinces came to pay tribute, they didn't just walk in. They were forced to walk through these massive halls with towering columns. They physically had to crane their necks upward. And this induced an immediate reflex of admiration and, quite frankly, a profound feeling of self-diminishment. You are forced to look up, and as a direct result, you feel incredibly small and powerless. All right, Section 3, the upward pull of cathedrals. This is where we see a shift to a logic of inclusion. Fast forward a few centuries and the script completely flips. Instead of that Persian logic of exclusion, medieval Christian architecture used verticality to pull the believer inside and upward. It's fascinating. Soaring spires act like fingers literally pointing to God, directing the mind toward infinity. Pointed arches create this dynamic upward pull, defying gravity and symbolizing the ascension of the soul. Stained glass totally transforms your perception of the space using divine light, and the towering bell tower provides a literal auditory call that orients the entire community. The architecture is physically, purposely designed to lift your spirit. You know, this concept is often beautifully referred to as the Stone Bible. Take the famous Cathedral of Chartres, for instance. If you look around its portals, you'll find these elongated statues of saints and kings. They're artificially stretched out and highly stylized. Why? Well, it's to immediately draw the gaze of anyone walking through those doors straight upward. For a medieval population that was largely illiterate, this was a brilliant didactic tool. The physical elevation of your head perfectly mirrored the moral and spiritual elevation you were supposed to be experiencing. So we have 2 vastly different approaches here. The Achaemenid approach uses raw, static power, keep the people low. The Christian approach uses dynamic, spiritual movement, lift the people up. But both instinctively understood one fundamental truth. Forcing the human eye upward commands the mind. It just works. But why? Why exactly does it work so well? Which brings us to the plot twist. Section 4, the neurobiology of looking up. Let's talk about dopaminergic cognition. This is where we leave ancient stonemasons behind and dive into modern brain chemistry. Neuropsychologist Fred Previck theorized that our visual field above the horizon is what we call our extrapersonal space. And crucially, this specific area is directly linked to the brain's dopaminergic system. Dopamine is our drive hormone. It's responsible for motivation, abstract thought, futuristic planning, and even feelings of transcendence. When you physically lift your eyes above the horizon, you are literally activating a completely different, highly stimulating neural pathway in your brain. Think about the opposite.
Looking down focuses us on our peripersonal space, our immediate, graspable surroundings. It's linked to the cholinergic system, which handles day-to-day survival tasks, sure, but it can also trap us in problem-focused thinking and melancholy. Just think about our everyday language. When we are sad, we literally say we are feeling down. But when we look up, we activate that extra-personal dopaminergic system. We feel hope, creativity, and drive. When life improves, what do we say? Things are looking up. It is not just a clever metaphor, it is hard neurobiology. And this feeds right into the deeply intimate psychology of awe. Massive vertical structures, whether we're talking about a 100-meter sheer cliff in Persia or the dizzying vaulted ceiling of a Gothic cathedral, trigger this very specific, incredibly powerful emotion. Awe happens when we encounter vast stimuli that basically force our existing mental structures to stretch just to accommodate the overwhelming experience. It creates what psychologists call the diminished self effect. Your ego shrinks, your personal immediate worries just fade away, and you feel profoundly connected to something much, much larger than yourself. The absolutely craziest part, the health benefits of this are astonishingly real. Experiencing awe is a literal, biological, energetic refresh. Studies have shown it leads to a measurable reduction in inflammation markers, like interleukin-6 in the body. It promotes self-transcendence, which increases prosocial behavior and deep connection with others. And it radically anchors our presence in the moment, expanding our perception of time so we feel much less rushed and anxious. I mean, it's not magic, it's medicine. Section 5, the modern deficit. And yeah, this is a very modern digital problem.
So why does all this ancient history and brain chemistry matter today? Well, because in our highly digitized modern world, we have a massive chronic problem. Our gaze is almost exclusively fixed on our parapersonal space. Think about your own day for a second. We are constantly looking down. Smartphones, monitors, laptops, we are completely trapped in that cholinergic visual field. This constant unyielding downward posture is psychologically narrowing our thoughts, limiting our perspective, and measurably increasing our daily stress and anxiety. We are basically starving our dopaminergic system.
We need to actively counteract this, intentionally lifting your eyes, whether you're looking up at a towering modern skyscraper, a massive ancient tree, or honestly just the vast open sky, is an absolute energetic necessity. It provides a crucial biological reset for your dopaminergic system. It allows you to rediscover the vastness of the horizon, promoting abstract thought and creativity. And maybe most importantly, it helps you understand yourself as part of a larger, connected whole, which shrinks your daily immediate anxieties right back down to a manageable size. Which leaves us with one final, really deeply provocative question to wrap up this explainer. Where are you directing your gaze? Seriously, the next time you walk outside, pay close attention to where your eyes naturally fall. Remember that simply tilting your head up isn't just about seeing what's literally above you, it's about fundamentally changing how you think, how you feel, and how you exist in the world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. Keep learning, stay focused, and whatever you do, remember to look up.